Now sound. Here's where I have a little bit of a mixed score in sound. And why don't you go ahead and bring up my sheet right now so that you can my slate so we can see it right away. Now, sound, you're going to notice here that you see a 7, but then you see a 9. And the reason is that this game gets a 7 in sound with the English dialogue, but a 9 with the Japanese dialogue. And of course, the downloadable Japanese pack is what gives you the Japanese dialogue. It's free, it's 50 megabytes. You get it, you install it, boom, you've got Japanese language, and suddenly it's like playing the anime.
But does it have subtitles?
Yes, everything's subtitled, obviously.
So the reason why you have it in parentheses is because by default,
and
you don't get that.
When I first bought the game, the Japanese downloadable pack was not available. So I actually did not play the game until that was available because I would not fucking suffer through those horrible voices. Now, before I give you an example of said horrible voices, the music is fucking ace, all right? All of the original music from the anime, from opening scores to the closing credits to all of the battle music, all of the filler music, all of the Naruto, or the original Naruto scenes are there, and it is phenomenal.
5.1
and I personally want to blast IGN because they say that the music got old, and proof that they are fucking fuckwads, that they do not know what the hell they're talking about, because the music is like exactly everything from the anime, and they use it perfectly. So when you when you're having that moment where like Naruto's learning a new power, it plays like the powerful Naruto music, and we're gonna hear it here in just a second. Now, what I've got here is I've got an example of bad English. Now, camera, it's actually started at 3 minutes and 29 seconds in, so that people, I don't want them to have to sit through this. So get as close as you can to that.
29,
right?
329?
That's perfect, all right? So let's check this out. This is a bad English version of Naruto, all right? Believe it! Chill.
Wait, is it supposed to do that?
Yes, go.
Until I become Hokage, I don't care what happens, I am not gonna die!
See, like this cool music, like when you're about to get more powerful, they'll fucking kick it in.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
So here you go. I'm not gonna fucking I'm Naruto Uzumaki, believe it!
Let's see
I
you
mean,
dodge me this time!
You can't get
Are they holding
hands
hands?
in this. Let's watch the same scene in Japanese to appreciate how much fucking cooler Japan is than we are. All right, can we do that? Do we have this?
I do have it.
We have this queued up. This is the good, same scene, Japanese queued up. It should be right where it needs to be.
Right at the beginning?
Yeah, let's check this out.
Oh. Yeah, that's much more badass. He sounds much more badass, less like fucking Pokemon.
Right, exactly. So it makes a huge difference in the game. Huge difference.
Yeah, I mean that happens in anime movies.
Yeah,
well.
of
I mean,
course.
anything anime.
Of course.
Yeah.
So let's move on. You've seen the sound score 7-9.
I only
so
wish
really
that you had
9.
given it a 6 originally, so we had 69. There.
The gameplay. All right, guys. First off, I'm going to start with my biggest disappointment. The biggest disappointment about the game is the fact that you can beat it in 8 hours if you don't do the side missions. So if Suma wanted to basically experience 100, no, actually this goes up to 80. Episode 88 of 150. So you can expect that there will be a sequel that will tell the remaining first half of the Naruto
I have
story.
a basic gameplay question, and maybe...
Well, let me give my biggest disappointment real
Okay.
quick. So the fact that 8 hours, you can go through it real quick. On the flip side, if you want a quick, like, fucking Cliff's Notes version of Naruto, 8 hours is a great way to consume this. You could play this game, know the first 8 hours, and probably pick up the anime and know everything that you would need to know to continue watching the anime. Very, very cool. What was your gameplay question?
You know, most Naruto games in the past are pure fighters.
Fighters.
So are you, and obviously we saw him in the trailers running through the city,
Right.
even doing some platforming.
Right.
Is the game
This is
you're
perfect segue,
adventuring to a fighting arena where you're gonna fight someone?
Perfect segue, because
Okay.
I'm going to tell you the gameplay is part Grand Theft Auto, part Crackdown, and part just flat out story driven. And I'm gonna, so it's like Grand Theft Auto in that it's very open ended. I can choose to go to the next plot advancement. I can choose to run side missions. I can choose to, you know, try to unlock a new power. But it all still works within the confines of the Naruto timeline. So you don't ever break from the story arc, but there's a lot of shit to do. That's where the Grand Theft Auto part comes in. Where the Crackdown part comes in is the fact that when you start with Crackdown, you're kind of just like a normal guy. Can't jump that high, you can't do that big of attacks. But as you progress through Crackdown, you start being able to fucking leap entire buildings and running real fast. And you get this same sense in Naruto. What's cool about it is that it follows the power up of Naruto exactly how the anime does. So as he's like unlocking new jutsu, new ninja techniques, or he learns to, for example, like run up walls because he can channel chakra to his feet, that's actually a story within the actual original story arc. It's built into the game. So it's really cool how they advance you. So it's also very cool how well the story is embedded into the gameplay. Like I said, I don't need to go any more into it.
But is all the fighting, like, does it go to a separate arena where you're fighting?
No, it will take you to the exact locales that it happened in the game. And that's also an important thing to talk about, is that all the locales that are in the anime are in this game. So, for example, the first boss fight you go to, you actually travel to the bridge, they have the dialogue, and then there's typically a fight.
But does it cut away and put you in an enclosed space like you were playing like a Tekken, for instance?
It puts you into the arena that you were in the anime.
Okay.
So if you, for example, the first major boss fight happens on a bridge.
But is that the only
finished.
fighting within the game where it does?
No, it happens all over the place.
But can you just, no, but what I mean is, can I just walk through the city and just punch someone?
No,
or will I just cut to a scene?
No, it's outside of the city is the only place combat takes place, unless there's a part of the story where combat takes place in the city. All right. So missions are a wide variety. Some are collecting, some are killing, some are go to this area and survey. Some of them are like, you know, just gather information.
So it's not just fighting.
No, not at all.
I think
and so this actually offers way more gameplay options than Assassin's Creed. One other disappointment I had about the game is that you will see a lot of recycled enemies, but that's because you can't really add a whole lot of shit to a storyline when you're following it perfectly. So basically, the henchmen, you'll find you're fighting a lot of the same henchmen, you know? How many times can I fight the same fucking bandit? But in the story, they had the same thing where it was a lot of like generic people that they were fighting.
That might just be a limitation of all games, though.
I'm sure that has something to do with it. So
well, that's a lot of time to fill as well, Hogan.
Exactly.
I mean, 8 hours, that's a long time to fill with, you know.
What's the gameplay like if you do the side quests?
There's still a lot to do. I mean,
how many hours in are you?
I'd say about 10, 12 maybe. And I'm purposely not advancing the story because I want to play the entire game as much as possible. Of course, I already know what happens in the story.
Are we looking at like 30 hours then?
I think you're probably looking more about 20.
Believe it.
Pretty good.